Nutcha! Who? Aren't you tired of getting dirt kicked in your face? Don't you want a little taste of the glory?
The network premiere, Nacho Libre, tonight at 10 on 4.
Oh, yeah.
No, if you're going to do that, I'm off. No, horrible.
Monday, Lady Gaga and Basil Brush.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. Later on, we have Mr. Ronnie Corbett and I go head-to-head in a golf and bungee game. I ain't doing bungee jumping. I don't care how many weeks to get in an hotel. I'm not being pushed off a bridge with an elastic band tied around my waist, going up and down like one of those things they have in a car window. You know what I mean? Anyway, now we are. We're going to try and win the entire studio audience a night, half an hour, actually, in a country... Actually, you don't even get out the car. You just drive past and look. And we're going to find out how to live to 100. But it's time now for my first guest. Now, she's been acting... This chair's kicking off. She's been acting since she was 11 and made her stage debut playing an orphan in the musical Annie. These days, she's known to millions as D.I. Samantha Nixon in The Bill, but she's about to quit Sun Hill. And here to reveal all is the very lovely Lisa Maxwell. Let's hear you. Come on. Look at all this. What do you think of all this?
I'm not quite sure. This is for the 100-year-old... This is what it would be like, is it?
No, I don't know, Bert.
Tell I was paying attention backstage, can't you?
Well, do you know what it is? It's all the stuff that they used in the Borrowers movie, you know.
Oh, it's props, genuine film props.
Yeah, genuine props. How are you anyway, Flower?
I'm all right, darling,
Good to see you.
thank you.
Are you sad to be leaving Sun Hill?
I am sort of sad, because 7 years I was there, and that's a long time. But, and my last day was quite moving. But I made the decision last year, so it wasn't a sort of surprise or a shock when it started to get nearer and nearer. It's been a wonderful time, Paul. Some of the most special people I've ever met. But, you know, at the end of the day, 7 years doing one character, playing one role it's not why any of us go into the business.
Well, that's right, and as an actress, you like diversity, don't you? So...
You do, and, I mean, luckily Sam was a popular character, so the storylines were nice and busy for me, but, you know, in so doing, I was doing 6 days a week, 14-hour days, which is fine, you know, I'm a grafter and I'd do it again, but to do that for 7 years, I mean, last year, I'll be absolutely honest with you, I had 2 miscarriages, one in January and one in July. I know, it was a really sad time for me, and that, you know, and I don't mind talking about it, it's not like a secret. In some ways, I feel like the more I talk about it, the better it is, because I kept it a secret at the time. You know...
So did you go straight back to work?
I did. The first one was in the January, and I worked straight through it, completely ignored it.
Is that wise, really, Lisa?
Well,
you know
it's not, is it?
No,
I mean, I think what
had
happened to a degree was that because I'd played Sam for 7 years, in some ways I think it was easier being Sam than it was being Lisa and facing up to a lot of stuff. And I just ignored the first one, and then... and I thought it was my last chance of having another child again, and I was quite kind of down about it, but I just soldiered on, ignored it like I do everything. And then I was lucky enough to fall pregnant again 4 months later. And then the same thing happened.
No.
And it was I was quite far gone at that point, and I was going to work through it. And it comes to something when one of the other actors on the show says, right, I'm talking to the bosses, because you're just going to bloom and kill yourself.
Exactly.
It was Robbie Taylor.
Yeah.
She
Well,
said,
it would be Robbie. She'd have no messing.
No, and she said, you know, because she's always looked after me, she said, I'm going to go and talk to them, I'm going to, you know, this is not good. And then I told my other half, Paul, and, you know, it took him to ring my agent, to ring the bosses and say, tell her she's not coming in tomorrow. Because I'm a pro from a kid.
Yeah, exactly, you know.
And I think you get to a point where I just needed something to tip the balance, and I needed to step back and go, no, these are things that I have to address because they don't go away. And so I'm having a ball. It's the first Easter holiday.
That you've been off?
For the whole holiday I've been with my kid. It's amazing. I don't know what to do next, like go to the cinema, Chessington, you know.
What was it like filming your last scenes? Because I personally hate goodbyes. I'm lousy. I'm no hero when it comes to saying goodbye.
No, I'm a bit like that as well. Once you know you're going, you just want to get it over with,
I get rude to you and said, see ya, ta-ra, rush out.
Yeah, I was a bit like, don't want to fuss, don't want to fuss. And on the day that I arrived to do the very last day, I'd done a lot of emotional stuff. That had already been shot, so which came very, very easily. I had to get upset, and I thought, when you know you've got to get upset and you know it's going to be real, it's really difficult to have any control over it. And I was really scared about what might happen, to the point that actually, when I was supposed to get upset, I couldn't. Because I thought, if I start, I won't blooming stop.
Yeah, you'd be going for the week.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I did.
Yeah.
And so once that day was out of the way, I thought the rest would be a doddle. So I go in and I notice that there aren't many people about in the studio. I'm thinking a lot of people are out on, you know, location and they've got this thing called the truncheon moment, which is, it sounds a bit rude, but it's not. It's actually, it's when they all turn up on set on your last scene and present you with a wooden truncheon.
Oh, wow, fab.
Yeah, with your name in it and how long you've been on the show.
Oh, no.
And I was a little bit disappointed because I hadn't really seen anyone. I thought they might make a bit of a fuss.
Yeah.
And then as I put my head out the office, the whole of CID and spilling over into these other rooms, which are St Hugh's Hospital set and everything, was like easily in the hundreds people had turned up to say goodbye. Even now, it gets me going. And I was just completely taken aback. And, like, members of the crew who were crying, you know, these, like, real hard and light sparks were going, oh, it's the end of an era. It's the end of an era.
But know what you mean?
It was really...
It's heartbreaking, isn't it?
It was, and I said a few words and my bottom lip went and then I cried like a baby and somebody came up with a tissue and I grabbed them round the neck and just started sobbing. But you've got to move on, haven't you?
Too right, you have.
Yeah.
Too right.
Yeah.
Irish dancing would be a good career for you.
Oh, don't.
You were brilliant. What are you talking about?
Oh, thank you.
Wasn't she? Did you see her? Do you know what, Lisa? I sat there watching you, and you were effortless. You did it, and then you're chatting afterwards. You weren't even like. There was nothing.
You are kind.
She makes me sick. Where's she getting the energy from?
Nerves. Pure nerves. It was the adrenaline running through my body. But I did have I had a lip like that. It was all stuck
I hate that
up
when your
there.
mouth goes dry, can you?
And I did the whole thing like that. Everyone said you were smiling all the way through. It's because I had no choice. I couldn't close my mouth.
What's happening then on the bill this week?
This week on the bill, it's all set in the school. It's a big Nate storyline, and he gets involved with an art teacher, Becky, who ends up getting attacked. And Sam is leading the investigation. It's a really, really good, strong storyline, actually.
Do you know, but all the storylines, the bill is consistently good. Every episode you watch, you never see a bad one. They're always interesting.
No, they do. I mean, they sustain... I don't know how they do it. 2 hours of drama a week.
And the quality of acting in it as well.
They are amazing. Some of the kids that are in this school storyline are incredible.
Brilliant.
The casting are amazing, how they find these people.
Should we have a look? Bert, have you got a clip there, please? Let's have a look.
You said Russell Patterson had a relationship with Becky James.
That's what Kim said. Ended 6 months ago.
Why on earth would Becky's ex go to all this trouble to get hold of her laptop?
And if there was something incriminating on there, he's waited a long time to get back there.
Right, well, let's get Patterson. Get Marcus Bentley to video ID him.
Marcus Bentley, the Pope, who thought would get his letter to the judge. Patterson, no motive, no priors, we have no evidence. In fact, all we have is a grainy CCTV shot of his car. Joe, take a look at his fines. There's some record he had to get his hotel in cash.
Go.
I think it's time to speak.
You know when you did that? Is that the one you...
Yes.
Who's your Miss Hannigan?
Sheila Hannigan.
No, really,
Yes,
Victoria Palace.
It was London Cast.
That's right, with Stratford Johns as Daddy Warbucks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was, I was just actually one about it earlier. I used to live on a council estate at the Elephant Castle. My mum get the bus to pick me up at the stage door at the Victoria Palace. And on the opening night, like, not the opening night, in the first week, the royal family came.
Yeah.
And there was, like, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh and the Queen Mother and all that. And all our mums were, like, waiting at the stage door with their hair in rollers and all that, going, trying to get a look at the Queen round the thing. And we'd all have to go home on the bus and what have you. It was just, like, a different world. Yeah. And I remember when they lined us all up and the Queen came along and she said to me, hello, you know, like that. And then she went, how are you? And I thought, what did she just say to me? And I didn't answer. You know, when you're 14, you look really gormless. And she went, how old are you? And someone went to me, how old are you? Next to me, oh, 14! 14! It was like the most wonderful experience.
Fabulous show, isn't it?
Yeah, Sheila Hancock was Miss Hannigan,
That's
as I
right,
said. She was really nervous, actually. That's one thing
Do you know
I
what she
remember.
told me, Sheila? She didn't like being violent.